All right, folks, welcome back. It is now a few hours after the BAFTA awards were announced. I was a little busy today, so I'm finally getting a chance to sit down and think a little bit more and be able to talk over what my impressions are of who the BAFTA winners were today and what this means going forward. So just pretty quickly here, we'll talk over the multiple winners. Oppenheimer, as expected, did do the best of all the films today. 7 win out of its 13 nominations, so that's, pretty good haul for them. Poor Things, not way too far behind at 5. And then we had The Holdovers get a couple. We had Zone of Interest. I couldn't think of the title there for a second. That actually picked up 3. I had it getting 0, so that was a little bit of a wrong call on my part. But we'll go ahead and we'll discuss the winners here. Okay. So for best film, that went to Oppenheimer. I think a lot of us had that one. There wasn't really a ton of chance for an upset, but did go to Oppenheimer. Director, also to Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer. Again, not too much crosstalk on this one. It's I think everybody and their sister is predicting Christopher Nolan at this point. I really don't see him losing this. Then we get to the acting categories. Here I did get a couple wrong, starting with Best Actor. I went with Giamatti here because The Holdovers had done fairly well at the nomination stage. But, yeah, and I had a thing here where I was like, okay, the hometown favorite, the British favorite, I went with Emily Blunt, and I chose the wrong category for this. So not only do I, get this one wrong, I get the other one wrong too, of course. They did go Cillian Murphy here, so he's definitely still in the race at this point, and it will be a race between him and Giamatti. And so I think SAG is going to be the big determiner here. Because don't forget, up to this point last year, we still had a couple naysayers in the Best Actress category. Some that thought Michelle Yeoh really did stand a good shot at winning Best Actress, and then she won SAG, and then everybody flipped, and I think at that point a lot of people sensed the enthusiasm of that film and everything, and picked Michelle Yeoh, which ended up being the correct choice. So we'll see if SAG can do the same for Paul Giamatti, or if they want to go with Cillian Murphy there, because he is in an ensemble film there, versus The Holdovers did not get that ensemble nomination at SAG. Yeah, then if Cillian wins there, it's pretty much a done deal. I think Cillian will win at the Oscars as well. Best Actress, though, did go to Emma Stone for Poor Things. This is arguably her easiest race, outside of maybe the Comedy Musical Globe category. Even then, I think some people would have said, hey, well, you got a couple shots at an upset there. But that being said, I think, Emma is still on a good track to win at the Oscars as well. We'll see if there's going to be, again, possible some naysaying there at SAG when we do see Kills the Flower Moon re-enter with... busy day. With Lily Gladstone, getting thrown back into the mix there. But anyways, that being said, though, Poor Things we thought would do probably second or third best here today for as far as number of wins and stuff, so not too surprising. Robert Downey Jr. is in Automatic Pilot at this point in supporting actor. He got the win here, and I don't really see him falling short going forward. And yep, I picked Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer as the hometown favorite here, but nope, they went with Divine Joy Randolph, so... Yep, she's also in cruise control at this point. Go ahead and stamp her in as the winner there. I believe, will win at SAG as well. And we'll see her go all the way to the Oscars. In the screenplay categories, I got one right with Anatomy of a Fall, an original. And I felt like that was one, I felt pretty good about that one. Adapted, though, I was a little less enthusiastic about my choice here for Oppenheimer. I was more worried about Poor Things winning this, but instead they went with American Fiction, this is the only category I got nominated for. So, and I did think about it since my last video as well, where we talked about Oscar predictions. And I do think when we have a film that, seems like it's pretty far ahead for Best Picture, for example, something like Nomadland here a few years ago, if there's a film in that category that does seem to have a little bit more passion behind it, so in that case, The Father, then it will win over the Best Picture winner. And I think that's going to be the case again this year with American Fiction. It has the passion vote behind it. It did get a couple of surprise nominations at the Oscars. I think it's got the SAG nomination for ensemble and stuff, so I think it's going to win for screenplay as well. And the BAFTA vote here is a big, big support for that film. I don't think this is going to be a case now where, okay, they went with a kooky choice at Critics' Choice, like happened a couple of years ago, 4 or 5 years ago now with First Reformed. That won in the original screenplay category, and then the rest of that category got really wonky from there with different winners virtually at every award show going forward, including WGA, which of course is not going to be very reliable this year. They're not announcing their nominees till later. But that being said, though, I think with this win here today, yeah, that's a huge sign for American Fiction. I think it will eventually win the Oscar as well. I think its vote here today was a big, big plus. Next up, we'll go with some of the feature categories here. By the way, we should touch on the Best British Film as well. Zone of Interest. I wasn't expecting it. I had Poor Things here. I thought Poor Things was a pretty good choice here. I really didn't think Zone of Interest would win. I would probably have put it in second or third here, but yeah, they liked it. They liked it a lot. So there you go. Obviously that doesn't correlate to the Oscars, but we'll talk about the international film category here in a little bit. Animated film, they went with Miyazaki here. So we've got the Globes and now BAFTA that have gone with Miyazaki. We've gotten Critics' Choice going with Spider-Man, and now Annie Awards have also gone with Spider-Man. So I don't know. This vote here with the international voters being a lot higher now than they were even in 2018 when the first Spider-Man film won. Boy, that does kind of give me a little more thought here now, because when we look at it again, as a few people pointed out at the Oscars, outside of Pixar sequels, they really don't like sequels there at the Oscars. Even some years, like Incredibles 2, which was up against the first Spider-Man film, they did not go with the Pixar sequel then either. So I'll tell you what, I'm on the fence here. I'm gonna think about this. Annie Awards are important too. We did see Klaus win there in 2019, but they ended up going with Toy Story 4 at the end of the day. So I think it'll just depend too, because Boy and the Heron, I think it's done, at the box office and stuff, not only domestically but internationally too. It has done pretty well. So that's a sign of strength that it has been maybe a little more widely seen. And I think it's one that we were kind of, maybe some of us were writing off a little bit more. We just thought it was going to be Spider-Man, just, rubber stamp it. But yeah, I'll think about it. I'll think about it here in the next few days. Documentary, though, I don't think we have to think about way too hard. 20 Days in Mariupol did win here, and I think, it will win at the Oscars and repeat there. For film not in the English language or international film equivalent at the Oscars, I had Anatomy of a Fall, but nope, this was the first time that I think those two have been, this one and Zone of Interest have been pitted against each other, and they went with Zone of Interest. Now, at the Oscars, we do know, I think, pretty soundly that it will be Zone of Interest that wins, but yeah. So that one will repeat, but it was kind of one of the last hurrahs for Anatomy of a Fall, but that ended up winning screenplay. So it's not like it went home empty-handed. The casting award did go to The Holdover, so I had this one correct. This one has been a trickier one for me in recent years, so this is one of the first times I think I've gotten it right since they've introduced the category. We'll go into the tech categories now. Cinematography was Oppenheimer. Hoyte van Hoytema, I think, has it pretty well wrapped up, even if they go with a kookier choice at the Cinematographers Guild, which I don't really expect them to. I still say Oppenheimer probably has the win here for the Oscar as well. In the editing category, also went to Oppenheimer. Jennifer Lame, the editor there. I expect her to repeat at the Oscars as well, and probably get the Ace Eddie win here in the coming weeks. Let's go to the design categories next. For costume design, this was Poor Things. I did get this one correct. And again, we're kind of on that same path that we were 5 years ago when it was Black Panther versus The Favorite. And we did see, Black Panther come back to win at the Oscars. So Barbie, of course, did do a little better at the Oscars than it did here at BAFTA. So I expect them to switch back to Barbie when we get there. And production design also went to Poor Things here. And I, again, expect the same thing at the Oscars where, yes, we will see Poor Things put up a fight, but I think Barbie will win. To the score category, Oppenheimer, Ludwig Göransson. Yep, pretty easy choice, I think, there. And I expect him to repeat at the Oscars as well. Makeup, they did go Poor Things. I had Maestro here. So Maestro ended up getting shut out. It's weird. They did the same thing. They did the same thing at Critics' Choice where Maestro got shut out, and it felt like, that was the thing. Now, One thing, though, the makeup, particularly for Poor Things, there is some makeup on Emma Stone and stuff through the movie. We do see her go through some physical changes and stuff through the movie as far as her hairstyle and everything, too. But when it comes to, like, prosthetics and stuff, the Willem Dafoe, performance, that was not nominated. We did see both Cooper and, again, it's been a long day, Carey Mulligan. We did see both of them get nominated. For their performances. Both of them do have some prosthetics in the applied in the film and stuff. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna probably still stick with Maestro here for hair and makeup at the Oscars as well. But man, just the fact that they have just not been digging that so far at these precursors, that's not great. And I'll take a look. I don't think the Makeup Guild. I don't think they've announced their winners yet. I think we've got a couple days till they announce theirs. I think it's sometime this coming week or something, but I could be wrong. Maybe it was already announced. Well, hold on. Maybe they did say who their winners were. Let me check this here. Here we go. See if I can find it. Where are they even at here? I can't even find them. Makeup and Guild. Here we go. Let's see if this tells us anything. Nope, that's from last year. Okay. I don't know. I was just looking up a couple things here. I thought I saw where their thing maybe was. I don't know. Okay, I'll check in on it. Eventually, I'll figure it out here. I don't want to take 20 minutes to research here and figure out where the hell it is. But yeah, we'll re-examine after I look at the Guild stuff if it's already happened, or we'll wait until after the Guild has announced their winners and we'll see who they liked. But yeah. The sound category, they did not go Oppenheimer here. They went with Zone of Interest, which I think, having not seen that film just quite yet, a lot of people have talked about how the sound design is pretty important to the film and so on and so forth. So since Zone of Interest was kind of doing, a couple of things here in some of these other categories, it makes sense and everything. I don't know if there's enough passion for the film, broadly speaking, with the Academy, where they're going to just name check it here as well. I feel like it's a much more bigger opportunity for something like Oppenheimer to win, so I'm going to stick with Oppenheimer at the Oscars. And visual effects, I had the creator winning here. They went with Poor Things. Poor Things did not get the Oscar nomination, so it's not going to repeat. We'll have to wait for the Visual Effects Society to tune in on their and tell us their winners there, I think, before we get a better idea. But I still think the creator is going to potentially get, if it can get a good win there, which Oppenheimer is nominated in the effects-driven film category there at the Visual Effects Guild, so it'll probably get the win over the creator, but we'll see. If the creator can win there, then then I think we're in really good shape at the Oscars there for it to repeat. But in the meantime, it's going to be a toss-up between that one, I think, and who's the other one that's... Godzilla. Godzilla, of course, yeah. That wasn't nominated here, BAFTA, but Godzilla's got a lot of passion behind it, so I wouldn't be totally shocked to see it win at the Oscars as well. And that stupid EE Rising Star Award, which is voted on by the public, I again got this wrong. They didn't even go with the Bear actress. They went with Mia McKenna Bruce, who was... I had her predicted to get a nomination for Best Actress, but she didn't even get in there, so I don't know. I might as well not even mention that category going forward. I just repeatedly have gotten it wrong. I just don't know. I have no pulse on that category whatsoever. Jeez, I'm trying to even think. When did I'm trying to think when I started predicting the category, because I've just consistently gotten it wrong. So if I ever do predict it again, don't listen to me. So that's about all I got to say on that. So I haven't, I just kind of got time just to sit down here and talk about the categories here. So I haven't gotten a chance to see any of the speeches yet or anything. I don't know if they're posted online or anything. I don't think I have BBC America anymore. I had it for like 1 year on a cable package, but I don't think I have it anymore. So I wasn't able to watch anything on it. So I'll keep an eye out, and we'll maybe talk about the speeches and stuff some other time. But I don't know. I don't think there's anything immediately that we take away from this, and big change at the Oscars as far as like who can win and stuff. Aside from maybe you could say American Fiction. Actually, not way too long after I wrapped up the video there, I actually did move American Fiction up to win, and I would expect that now to we'll see it start to rise, I think, in the Gold Derby odds, and we'll see it rise in some of the other major organizations. I think Variety, who runs Variety anymore for their predictions? Who's writing all this? I think Clayton Davis. Yeah, Clayton Davis is still doing stuff over there at Variety. I'll have to look and see. I think I haven't checked with him in a while. I'm not sure who he has winning that adapted screenplay category. I don't know. It's gonna, again, this will take 20 fucking minutes to find, so I'm not gonna waste your guys' time. Yeah, I would expect. Yeah, American Fiction's gonna get a big boost after its win here today. After that, I don't know. I don't think. I've seen maybe a couple people might still be on the fence on Best Actress between Lily and Emma, and I think, again, SAG is going to save us there and let us know who's winning. Same with Best Actor. Maybe a couple people still on the fence on Original Screenplay. I don't totally think that Anatomy of a Fall's win here today solidifies it's going to win at the Oscars. I have it ahead to win at the Oscars, but they could go holdovers. And especially in a case like this, if they go holdovers there, that's a sign, okay, they really do like the movie. So then it could be on a track, like we kind of talked about in the last Oscar update video. If it can win screenplay and an acting prize, Best Picture sometimes is not very far behind. We've seen that with Moonlight. We've seen that with Green Book, Coda, and in the recent years. So it's, it's very possible. But again, I want to see a little bit more evidence of that. I want to see, like, if Holdovers wins maybe multiple prizes at SAG, which I actually have predicted. Okay, maybe we can re-explore it. Moonlight only won the one, though, so that wasn't the best indicator. But we did see La La Land miss out on that SAG Ensemble nomination versus Oppenheimer did get in this year for SAG Ensemble. And Holdovers missed, so yeah. Green Book did miss the year that it won for the Oscar, but and was not nominated at SAG, but we'll see. I don't know. Otherwise, I outside of maybe some movement in hair and makeup, if maybe some people want to put Poor Things ahead, which, I don't know, I don't think that'd be the worst thing. It doesn't, typically when we do see a film that's more prosthetics heavy win that category, they usually will take an Oscar win as well. One of the exceptions in recent years has been Vice, so that could be the case here, where Maestro wins this category and nothing else. You could compare it a little bit. Some people weren't very hot on Vice. Did end up getting a bunch of nominations, including director that year, it was kind of shaky predicting that one. Bradley Cooper did not make director this year, but Maestro still did get 6 or 7 nominations, so still did pretty well. Vice was in that neighborhood. I think that one got 7 or 8. So yeah, yeah. I don't think I have way too much else to talk about here. So BAFTA's over, and we will move on to SAG here. It's actually this Saturday, so we'll talk probably closer to, again, probably Thursday or so. We'll log back on and we'll talk about, okay, what movement have we seen this week? Are people predicting some new theories or something? Is there different ideas we're thinking now based off these winners and potential winners at SAG? And then we'll kind of get a final charge there leading up to the Oscars. So more to come later on.